I have seen the smartest person in the room destroy an entire company. Hi, my name is Phillip. I have been an executive counsel for companies across the world, 3 continents, almost $250 million in profit across the last 10 years. And in this video, I want to talk to you about why the smartest person in the room could actually destroy a great company. The most dangerous person in a growing company is often the brilliant one, the smartest one in the room. And why is that? It's because everything will usually revolve around them, especially if they are the founder. Now, you were told, I know this might not be what you want to hear, but you were told that exceptional talent at the top produces exceptional results at the bottom. And I want to kind of say that is not always the truth, because in the short term, yes, exceptional talent at the top is going to produce amazing results. But in the long run, if you're building for long term, that is actually an Achilles heel for you. Because in the long term, I have watched companies across the world with extraordinary individuals, genuinely exceptional people, smarter than most people in the room. And they walk into a room, they build companies that cannot function without them. And recently, I'll tell you a quick story. I escorted a friend. She's looking to get some business, and she needed to show that she has got a deep bench. And we went to meet this founder, and it's fascinating that the meeting was arranged for us to speak to the guy who runs the show and part of his team. We got there a little early, 5-10 minutes. I like to do that because I like to study. I like to see what's going on. I like to look at the environment. I can tell about a culture of a company simply by watching how the reception receives us and what else is going on, the energy in the room. And something was not right. But I thought, hey, it's not my gig. I'm here to support a friend. Let's just see how it goes. So we're taken to the boardroom. And when we get to the boardroom, there was 2 other guys already in the room. And we sit down, we introduce ourselves. And, one says, I'm the COO. And the other one says, I'm head of finance. And we say, okay, fantastic. So we sit down, and I like to be awkward sometimes so that I can pick up what's going on. So I just sit and look at them. And they look at me. And they look at my friend. And then I just stare at them, and they stare at me. And then they kind of, couldn't hold the stare. And then they look down, they fidget around, and they don't say nothing for about 4 minutes. Absolutely nothing. So I'm looking at my friend, the one who invited me, and I'm thinking, oh, what's going on here? And lo and behold, after 5 minutes, the main man walks in and speaks for the next 7 minutes. There is not a word from these guys. One is a COO, who is supposed to be the number 2, and the other one is a person in charge of finance. They don't say nothing. Immediately, I knew what the challenge was. And guess what he was saying? He was saying, oh, you know what? People don't know how, when I'm not here, people don't do what they need to do. I went to Thailand a couple of days ago to go and meet one of our suppliers, and things fell apart, And I could read the body language from these 2 guys because I was now focused on them to figure out what was going on. And it was very clear what was going on. They have been trained not to do anything outside of the boss's instructions. So no wonder he was in trouble. That's why I'm talking to you about in this video. You cannot scale beyond a certain point if the entire company revolves around one person. And most importantly, you cannot attract and retain the caliber of people who are going to want to take it further, because nobody brilliant wants to work in a place where their ability is stifled. And these amazing people have not, they don't fail because they decide to. They just are getting in their own way. Okay, their brilliance becomes their company architecture, and that is what the company depends on. But that architecture cannot grow beyond that person's capacity. That's why when they go away, nothing else moves because the entire architecture of the company is based on them. Now, here's the mechanism, and this is how it works. When you are the most capable person in the room, every situation, especially for high-performing founders, this is genuinely true, I think, mainly in the early years, okay, when you've started. You're going to be the person who knows everything, who sees clearly, who knows the vision better and who executes better. There's no question about it. But as the company grows, you must stop centralizing decisions with yourself, because much as you might be the fastest when you've just started, you're more accurate, you see things better, you see things more, you care more, it's your vision, you love it, and therefore you do all that stuff. Guess what? Every time you step in, because you are better, because you're the fastest, because you get things done quicker, faster, you are teaching your team that stepping in is how things work, which explains why these two guys could not talk to me or talk to us or engage with us. It was just waiting, okay? Because every time you make the call because you see it more clearly, they then take it, oh, here, he has got to make the call first. You are depriving the team of the chance to develop. You are also taking away their ability to get clarity and be able to engage and support the vision as well as you want them to. Because every time you are the most important person in the room and you act like it, like he was doing, you make the room smaller. You keep away people's geniuses. And over years, you build a team that is good at executing your decisions, not executing with the ability of thinking on their own way, where the eventual goal is that progress is stifled. And then you wonder why it is stifled. And then you wonder why you can't step back. Now, quick question. What if, for example, being the best person in the room was actually your biggest leadership liability? What if? Okay. What if the goal wasn't to bring your highest capability to every room, to every situation, to every decision? What if it was to build conditions in which other people could bring their own? Because why go and get amazing people and give them jobs and employ them and then stifle their ability to bring those ideas to the table? Because the leaders who built the most durable, scalable, valuable organizations in the world, across the world, the ones that I've actually worked with, they were not the most individually brilliant. No, they were the best builders. They were about collecting great talent, putting it together, painting a great vision for them, and then facilitating their ability to execute. Because these leaders built systems, they built cultures, they built decision architectures that support other people bringing their own ideas to the table. So when things work that way, and when things work out better that way, you find that everybody engages at a different level, okay? So if you are willing to let go of the identity that says that your job is to be the best in the room, and you realize it's about building and bringing brilliant minds together and giving them the ability to mess it up, screw it up, but learn from it and then build, then all of a sudden you're building a company that will stand without you so that you can be able to go and do the things that are most important, which is work on the business, which is be strategic, which is create those relationships while you allow the team to execute. This one personal issue might be what is preventing you as a founder from not just getting more money for your business, but stalling the development and or growth of your business, because all the capability is in one position, one place, and that means that there is not enough momentum and horsepower to go to the next level. So if you're that kind of person who's struggling with that, guess what? The leadership autopsy diagnostic helps you to figure out exactly what your people are thinking, what they're feeling, most importantly, where you might just be stifling that development, and it will help you to not just know exactly what it is, but to know where to start. Now, if you want to go to the next level and you want to check if you have been in that position, by the way, it's not a case of blame, it's just a case of awareness and responsibility where you realize, oh, okay, this might be the reason, so I'm going to do better. The autopsy is for you, It is in the link below. And until next time, I hope you keep doing your best, but most importantly, you continue to demand excellence from your team so that together we can create a better world through entrepreneurship. Until next time, peace.